Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here for the another episode here of the Morning Sun Podcast. I'm very sorry here, but I'm under the weather here. Under the weather. I was under the weather yesterday. I just couldn't do it yesterday. Still feeling a little under the weather today, but we're pushing along here today. But welcome back. Welcome back. Here on the Morning Sun Podcast, live here on YouTube. Also follow me on X, links down below, Twitter, that crazy little website that we chat amongst ourselves about pro wrestling. Also as well, Instagram links down below as well. Not a lot of news. Not a lot of news in the wrestling world. We had NXT last night. Good show. Enjoyed it. Long-term storytelling is not only being told on NXT, but also on WWE Raw. We're not going to review Raw, but I will say this real quickly. Raw was a damn good show, and long-term storytelling, and you don't know what direction that Monday Night Raw is going to be going in, is absolutely fantastic. So a damn good Raw show from Monday. Quick little mini 10-second review. It was great. It was great. Gunther and Bronson Reed, just fantastic. On top of that as well, outside of NXT, not a lot of news in the forecast, but for today, we have some news on The Rock and Roman Reigns, WrestleMania 40 news. We got some little bit of Vince McMahon news on his documentary. That was gonna be for Netflix. We got Raw ratings, that's about it, but there's really nothing else that's like, oh my god. We have Dynamite tonight as well, so we'll go over what's on the card so far. Let's get into the podcast today. Hopefully everyone's having a great day out there. Hopefully everyone is enjoying their week so far. I am for sure. I'm just a little under the weather. Well, it was way worse yesterday than I am today, but a little bit under the weather. That's all. So anyway, this podcast obviously is sponsored by my company here at Spinebuster Tees, SpinebusterTees.com. We still have the fall sale going on here. Fall 10 at checkout for extra 10% off. Get your Red t-shirts designs, including the Heel Heat Pineapple Pizza t-shirt, the Hardcore men's wrestling t-shirt. We have the Icon series of Mommy inspired Rhea Ripley t-shirt as well. We also have the Weapons of Pro Wrestling t-shirt, the Match Types of Pro Wrestling t-shirt. Those are all available at Spinebuster Tees, SpinebusterTees.com. Again, 10% for Fall 10 at checkout. You get extra 10% off. And also as well, free shipping over $40 and over before taxes. Again, that's at Spinebuster Tees and SpinebusterTees.com. Let's talk about NXT. Let's review NXT here. I don't know how long the show is going to be today, but we could start off with some NXT. NXT last night overall, good show, very good show. And I've been saying for a while now that NXT is my favorite weekly show. My favorite. It's not the best. Right now, I think Raw is the best, but NXT is my favorite weekly show because you get to see the up-and-comers, you get attached to them, and once you and once you're able to, be able to be more in tune with them, of knowing with them, then you'll be able to love them even more when they come up to the main roster. I'm sorry, my head is spinning, but like I said, we're gonna get through this podcast today. So if I'm rambling or if I'm not finishing my sentence correctly, I apologize. But yeah. So let's get into some NXT news here, man. Some not news, but let's review NXT from last night. NXT last night opened up with the bada bing, bada boom Battle Royal, whereas will become the number one contenders to the NXT Championship. So the way that works is that you got 10 teams in there. Battle Royal starts when it gets down to 2 teams. It's a regular match. The winners of that regular match wins the Battle Royal. So pretty much that's the Battle Royal right there. So basically, the entire tag team division was out there for NXT, including the Brawling Brutes. Brawling Brutes were there. I don't like that because they are a SmackDown team, but they have been on NXT for the past couple weeks, so I'll let it slide this week. Next week, I'll have something to say about that if they're still in there, because they are not an NXT tag team. They're not an NXT tag team. But anyway, so you got all the, or most rather, of the men's NXT tag teams down there. The D'Angelo family were watching up in the bird's nest. They're saying if your partner's eliminated, the entire team is. It went down to the final 3 teams here of Chase U, of Andre Chase and Duke Hudson, the Creed brothers, and Los Lotharios of Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. So the Creeds dumped out Carrillo, but the referees didn't see the elimination. So Carrillo came in like the slide dog that they is, and Garza and Carrillo ended up eliminating the Creed brothers at the same time. So a little bit more on that later. But the final 2 teams, like I said, will determine the winner in a tag team match. So you have Chase U versus Los Lotharios. I don't know if they're still called Los Lotharios, but Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. JC Jane and Thea Hale were out there. Very strangely so. I mean, not strangely, because obviously JC Jane and Thea Hale, JC Jane has not really turned, but she's trying to make Thea Hale into a bad girl. And there's, like I said, there's long-term storytelling with this here. But for now, JC's basically like, oh, she's part of Chase U. She wants to be part of Chase U. So they're out there in pom-poms, the red and black school color pom-poms. And this is what JC Jane did not want Thea Hale to be like and to be in, is in something like this. You know, she's like, oh, well, you know, let's change you, like this, like several weeks back, let's change you to something a little bit more comfortable, let's change you to something a little bit better, right? And you know, she changed, you know, Thea Hale not change, but change her wardrobe into something more adult like, we'll say that. But regardless of this, though, they were out there, and Garza and Carrillo at the beginning of the match was working over Chase. Went to commercial break. After break, Chase manages to tag in Hudson, who clears the ring. Hudson lands it says a sit down. I believe it was a sit down power bomb. I think it was a sit down power bomb. It just says a sit down. If I remember, it was a sit down power bomb on Carrillo. Garza breaks up the pin. Garza DDTs Hudson outside the ring. Carrillo rolls up Chase. Chase kicks out. Carrillo lands a Liger bomb for a 2 count. Brutus Creed, remember, because the Creeds got screwed over at the beginning of the show, Brutus Creed runs down to the ring and distracts the referee while Julius attacks Garza. Chase rolls up Carrillo for the win. So new number 1 contenders is Chase U, and this all start from JC Jane having her cell phone out in class, finding out that Chase U was in this Battle Royal. So JC Jane, she's one of the reasons why Chase U's in this situation. So what's that story going to be at Halloween Havoc? Because I believe they have their match next week at Halloween Havoc against the D'Angelo family. So interesting. I don't think Chase U's going to win. If they do win, then all right, there's going to be a way bigger story with this. So anyway, you know, the Battle Royal that helped up the show wasn't like groundbreaking or anything, but you know, it did its job. Got his point across, and Chase U wins in a very standard match against the Los Lotharios. Moving on, we have an in-ring segment with Carmelo Hayes. Hayes reminisces about the amazing experiences he had last week with John Cena and The Undertaker. Baron Corbin interrupts and makes fun of Hayes for acting like a fan. Dijak then comes out and tells Corbin and Hayes they are focused on the wrong thing. They should be focused on what he's going to do to them. Hayes tells Dijak he'll put him on a T-shirt. Ilya Dragunov, this is just very, very short notes. This is not even fully detailed. But Ilya Dragunov appears on the Tron, says he'll be watching tonight. Dragunov announces he asked Cody for one thing before he left last week. Tonight's match is now a fatal four-way. Trick Williams music hits. Everyone trays barbs. It's not really everyone trays barbs. It's really Dijak and Corbin instigating to Carmel, like, hey, your boy's out here. And he's like, he's in this match. And I don't know if you were told about it, whatever the case may be. So basically, it's like, they were really just instigating, Carmelo, like, hey, man, like, can you really trust this guy, Trick Williams? Because this guy, didn't really have to earn a shot. He's in a fatal four-way match. So interesting there for that. So yeah, it says everyone trays barbs, but Hayes looks devastated. Dijak and Corbin make a big deal about Williams stabbing Hayes in the back by never even talking to him about this. Hayes says he isn't falling for it. He's willing to put anyone down to get his title back, says Hayes. Dijak specifically asked about Williams. Hayes and Williams stare daggers through each other. Corbin and Dijak attack Hayes and Williams. Hayes and Williams clear the ring. Hayes bows up. I don't like that. How you put it here. Hayes was gonna take off his jacket. Fakes taking off his jacket like he was gonna attack Hayes. Attack Williams from behind. But he thinks better of it, and that's how the segment ends. So then it says backstage, Fallon Henley and Tiffany Stratton argue. Like, this is so lazy. I'm not gonna use WrestleZone no more. That's so lazy. Backstage, Fallon and Tiffany Stratton argue. Why even put anything then? Stupid. Like, come on, man. I'm not gonna use WrestleZone no more for these recaps. Jesus, man. I would take my own notes, man, but yeah, it's not good. I wouldn't be able to keep like if I take notes for this podcast here, like, it will be more than an hour and a half long, which I don't have time for. I don't have an hour. I don't have 2 hours long. I don't. My time doesn't permit me for it because I gotta be at work at 11, and I usually shower up right after this podcast. So before I go into work. So, but man, like, show a little bit more pride in your work there, WrestleZone. I appreciate you guys putting this up on your website, but man, show a little bit of pride in your work. That's all I gotta say about that. Next, we have our next women's breakout tournament. We have Carmen Petrovic versus Jada Parker. So that's not Jade Cargill. Jada Parker is Jada Parker, not Jade Cargill. But Carmen Petrovic, like her. I like her look. She is a black belt, and she comes out to the ring with katanas or swords, whatever the hell you want to call it. But yeah, very good. Jada Parker, she's like a light-skinned Lash Legend. Not to say in ring wise, I mean, because this match wasn't good, but I'm not gonna like overly bury them because they're new. They're still learning. This is a developmental show. Even though there's some world-class wrestling on here, this is still a developmental show in some aspects. And this part here was very developmental. But at the beginning of the match, Parker decks Petrovic. Petrovic responds with the head scissors for a near fall. Parker storms Petrovic's arm on the top rope. Petrovic screams in pain. Parker lays a few shoulder blocks to Petrovic's shoulder. Parker works over Petrovic's arm. Petrovic rolls up Parker for a near fall. Parker, he put Packer, Jesus Christ. Parker lays Petrovic across the middle rope in the corner and lands a leaping hip check for a near fall. Petrovic fires up and lands a flurry of strikes. Then Petrovic traps Parker in a choke, which is a leg choke. She used her leg. Very unique. Jesus Christ. It just says Petrovic traps Parker in a choke for the win. Karin Petrovic. So it makes it seem like this match had a whole bunch of action in it. And it wasn't long. You know what I mean? It wasn't long at all. I think it was a good length. But at the end of the day, these women, they need more seasoning. They need more, you know, they just need more practice. They need more practice in the ring. They'll get better. As time goes on. But not very impressive in comparison to Tiffany Stratton last year. Tiffany Stratton last year wowed everybody in this tournament, and basically is, you know, still wowing everybody in NXT as of right now. So my favorite here is Karin Petrovic, but I think the woman with the bigger upside here is Jada Parker. I think she has the bigger upside just by her look alone. So, all right, next we have a backstage segment. Well, no, they didn't even. Where was the backstage segment with? There was no backstage segment. So we're missing a couple things. We're missing the backstage segment with Dom and Nathan Frazier. We're missing the backstage segment with Natty and Tegan Nox. Yeah, WrestleZone. Yeah, GG's WrestleZone. GG's. I'm just gonna call it what it is. That's completely GG's. We're missing a whole bunch of shit here, man. So there was a backstage brawl between Nathan Frazier and Dom Mysterio. Frazier was on Raw Monday for a Raw exclusive interview. And basically saying, hey, I want at you, Dom, pretty much. So, and for the North American Championship. So we're gonna get Dom versus Nathan Frazier probably for the North American Championship at I don't think it got confirmed for Halloween Havoc Night 1 and maybe for Night 2 or Week 2 rather. Then we got a Natty Tegan Nox backstage segment. Basically, it was a short way. It was just basically say, hey, I'll be there for you at ringside, pretty much. So. For Natty and Tegan Nox, and I'm still expecting Natty to turn on Tegan Nox in some aspects. So, but thank you again, WrestleZone, for being very, very, detailed with your work. Live Valkyria versus Tegan Nox with Natalya by ringside with Tegan Nox, and Natalya was groped on Monday by a little kid. So, pretty sure everyone's seen that already. Anyway, Tegan Nox and Valkyria trade submission holds and roll-ups. Near woman could get a sustained advantage. Nox goes up top. Valkyria knocks her out to the floor. Diving dropkick by Valkyria. Goes into commercial break. After break, Nox and Valkyria are trading strikes. Valkyria lands a series of kicks. The last of which drops Nox. Nox kicks out at 2. Valkyria tries for a crossbody, but Nox turns it into a follow-away slam with a bridge for a near fall. Corner cannonball by Nox. Nox lands a Molly go round. Valkyria kicks out. Nox, excuse me. Nox lands a PK. Valkyria kicks out again. Women's tag team champions. For some reason, I don't know why they were there. I mean, well, I kind of know why they were there because this is really playing to Raw, not really to NXT. So, but the women's tag team champions, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, walk down to ringside in the confusion. Valkyria lands a head kick and pins Nox. Laura Valkyria wins, going into her match against Becky Lynch next week at Halloween Havoc. So let's talk about real quick. Let's get this out the way. I don't like main roster talent being on NXT. I think it takes away from some of the talent there that needs a little bit more, exposure on TV. You could have easily put a Tatum Paxley here. Could have easily put a Tatum Paxley here. In a situation like this against Lara Valkyria. She's not really doing much of anything. Tatum Paxley, she's having her new goth, character that she's doing there, a goth-like character. Not really Julia Hart-like, but like as far as the eye makeup, it's getting towards that Julia Hart area. But I will say that if they are developing the tag team of Tegan Nox and Natalya, and for them to go out to the tag team champions of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and they're continuing this Raw storyline on NXT, I am okay with it, right? I'm okay with it. If you're going to use main roster talent, and if they have beef with another main roster talent, if they come over to NXT to continue to build that storyline on the main weekly show, I'm okay with this. I'm all right with, because we know where it's gonna go. So I'm not okay with the main roster talent is gonna be there. But if they're gonna be there, and if that's gonna enhance their main roster stuff, okay. All right, I don't like it, but if they're gonna be there, might as well do it. So cool. I'm good with that. But Lara Valkyria, her story right now is, hey, she wants to defeat Becky Lynch. She wants to defeat the woman that really got into pro wrestling. She wants to defeat the woman that came and visited her school and had conversations with her before she even got to WWE, and tell her, and Becky Lynch was like, hey, you're gonna be a star and all that, right? So, yeah, that's the story. We see that at the end of tonight's NXT show, or what I think something big is gonna go down next week. So. We'll see. But afterwards, Natalya, Nox, and Green, they all fight off. Valkyria grabs the microphone and says, how about she's going to be Becky Lynch? Lynch appears on the Titantron and welcomes Valkyria to the big time. There's a little bit more than that, but you guys get the point. Alrighty, so moving on here. There was a Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams backstage segment. There's no notes here, which I don't understand why, because this is your biggest storyline in NXT. You have no notes on it, being lazy with it. But basically, long story short, Carmelo and Trick, they're at odds with each other about Trick being in this match. And Trick doesn't, and honestly, Trick doesn't really deserve it. If we're being honest, what did Trick deserve to get into this match? Ilya Dragunov is the catalyst here, because he's always believed in Trick Williams. Yeah, ever since Trick Williams, went on to win the North American Championship. This is a bigger story with Ilya Dragunov, obviously, thinking that Carmelo cannot beat Ilya Dragunov. Well, he did, obviously, right? But also Trick Williams beat Ilya Dragunov as well. But Ilya probably thinks that Trick is better than Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes, knowing his whole character is that I'm the best. I put, people's jerseys in the Raptors. I do this, I do that. You know what I mean? I'm the best here at NXT. But it seems like that not a lot of people, but some people out there, think that Trick is going to end up being better than Carmelo. I can see it from both sides. Probably so. From a career perspective, Trick Williams, he does have a big upside. I think Carmelo's better. You know what I mean? Overall, I think the only thing that Trick has over Carmelo is height. But physique is basically the same. Promo ability, I will probably give a slight edge to Trick, maybe. But Carmelo's, he's a good promo as well. In ring, forget about it. in the ring, forget about it. You know, it's all Carmelo there. So anyway, the guy didn't put no fucking notes. So I don't know what to tell you. We had a spin the wheel, make the deal with Gigi Dolan. She's gonna take on Blair Davenport in a lights out match. Spin the wheel, make the deal, bitch. And she said bitch too. So you know. We have Kiana James versus Shotzi. I'm gonna allow Shotzi to be here between now and the end of Halloween Havoc Night 2. I'm okay with it. If she's gonna be the host of it, I'm all right with it. I'm okay. I'm just trying to find myself excuses to figure out why main roster talent needs to be there. Also, Scarlett's gonna be there. Where's Karrion Kross? Well, right, but anyway. James, at the beginning of this match, is all over Shotzi. As soon as the bell rings, James slaps Shotzi, look, this is sad notes. James slaps Shotzi. Shotzi slaps James back. Oh, just fucking great notes here, guy. Shotzi traps James in a rope choke. James slams Shotzi into the ring post and boots her off the apron. After the break, James goes for her purse. Roxanne Perez hops the barricade and takes a brick out of James's purse. Shotzi hits senton for the win. Come on, WrestleZone. Get together, WrestleZone. Shotzi wins. This setting up perhaps Roxanne versus Kiana going into a Halloween Havoc. So there we go. But at the end of this here, we go backstage. We see Trick Williams. He got attacked. Got attacked by somebody. Most likely Carmelo Hayes. But Carmelo comes up and is like, oh man, who attacked you? Who attacked you? We know it's you, Carmelo. We know it's you. Now, I will say this. Trick Williams, he got taken out of the match for the Fatal 4-Way. The easy story to tell is that Carmelo felt threatened to Trick Williams, decided to take him out before Trick could take him out. That's the easy story. I'd rather have Carmelo Hayes as heel. He has a chance to join the new Hurt Business with the Street Profits and Lashley. That's the easy route for sure. Now, the other route they could go with this here is that they could go with the Big Cass Enzo Amore storyline where if you remember Big Cass, he faked being attacked. Fake being attacked and just laid out. He made some noise and he was like pretending like, you know, he got attacked. So maybe they could do something like that too as well, where Trick is really the bad guy in this situation. So, but as of right now, it's looking like it's leaning towards Carmelo turning heel on Trick Williams. But after being attacked, Trick Williams is being transported to a local hospital and has been ruled out for the main event. Next, we have here Women's Breakout Tournament. And before we talk about Women's Breakout Tournament here, earlier in the show, they went to ringside. They show Booker T and Vic Joseph. They were doing a little bit of promotion of something. Behind them was Mayu Yamashita. Mayu Yamashita, who is from Tokyo Joshi Pro. And it's like the second biggest women's wrestling organization in Japan, obviously behind Stardom, right? The current Princess of Princesses champion. She was there, and she wasn't like she was on the show technically, but she wasn't on the show. But keep an eye on that. She's a damn good, women's wrestler. She's very striker based, so she'll be perfect for a WWE. I think also an AEW as well. But she was there in Orlando. I believe she went to Disney World. She had that on her Twitter. But Maya Yamashita, she's there. Was she invited by Paul Levesque and Shawn Michaels there at NXT? Was this an invite for her, possibly to maybe come into WWE? Was this for her to look at and see on, on NXT and want to see like what it was all about, or was she just visiting? Was she just really just there being a fan? I don't know. Keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on Mayu Yamashita. Very, very damn good pro wrestler from Japan, and she is one of the best from Japan. Definitely one of the best from Japan. So, along with the Julias and the Tom Nakanos and the Mina Shikawas, she's up there for sure. So, anyway, speaking of women, the second NXT Women's Breakout Tournament, we have Ariana Grace versus Brynlee Reese. Jakara Jackson wasn't cleared for this match, so Ariana Grace was there at the beginning. She announces that she will begrudgingly accept a bye in the tournament since her opponent Jakara Jackson is injured. Then Brynlee Reese is announced as Jackson's replacement. Ariana Grace, Santina Marella Jr. This is Santino Marella's daughter. Not kayfabe, but her, his shoot daughter. And she's gonna be something, man. She has the look. She's incredibly beautiful. Like, she's hot, like super hot. She has her comedic timing. Yeah, that's Santino's daughter. Has great comedic timing, like fantastic comedic timing. Not bad in the ring either. She's gonna need to develop in the ring, but not bad in the ring either. She has this gimmick of being a beauty pageant queen, similar to Miss Wrestlemania and Santina Marella. So I like it. I like it. But very different of what she was doing. But anyway. At the beginning of the match, Grace gives Reese her hand for her to kiss. Reese grabs a wrist lock. Grace escapes a slam and lands a series of suplexes. Grace works over Reese. Reese fires up and lifts up Grace. Grace rakes eyes and hits it says a modified suplex. It was more like a I don't know. It was kind of like a bully choke, like a bulldog choke, kind of like how Brian Kendrick used to set up. But it was like a slam. So I don't really like it that much. I'll be honest. But just trying something different. So that I can appreciate. But I don't really like it that way. But Ariana Grace goes into the next round. And I think the next round is gonna be Ariana Grace versus Kelani Jordan. Then you got Carmen Petrovic versus Lola Vice. So we're gonna find out. The finals very soon. I think it's gonna be again. I think it's very easy to see. It's gonna be Kelani Jordan versus Lola Vice. So I got Kelani Jordan winning. No, I got Lola Vice winning actually because Babyface won last year with Roxanne Perez. But I love me some Kelani Jordan and Lola Vice. They're both awesome. We completely missed a Von Wagner, who is the best pro wrestler in the history of pro wrestlers. Like, let me tell you something about Von Khali. Von Khali, like, if he could have a match against Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit, he could actually bring Chris Benoit back from the dead if he wanted to, is Von Khali. Have a match on a row with him, right? A gauntlet match. Every single one of those individual matches would be 5-star. That's how good Von Khali is. He's the fucking best in the world. I don't know what you guys want me to say. But they don't have this in notes here. WrestleZone. I'm not going to use WrestleZone again after today. But yeah, WrestleZone here, they didn't put it here, but basically, long story short, they Von Wagner and Robert Stone. Von Wagner was at a medical facility, a rehab facility. He had his head wrapped, kind of like mine. But he kind of has his head wrapped. He was like working with these strengthening bands, and and Vaughn, and I'll kind of use this as an example here, where he was like just shaking, couldn't pull to save his life, shaking, he's trying to get his strength back. So eventually we're gonna see Von Wagner versus Braun Breakker at some point, but we are gonna see Braun Breakker versus Robert Stone, and I think Von Kelly is gonna make his return. Robbie E is going to have a match at NXT. I mean, he's had a match before, but he's gonna get destroyed by Braun Breaker. But man, hopefully we see a little bit of offense, man. Former X Division champion is Robert Stone, guys. So basically, Robert Stone was backstage with Braun Breaker, and Braun was just laughing about what he did to Von Wagner, and Robert Stone was like, "You think it's funny? Why don't you go a match against me?" And Braun was like, "You know what? That's a great idea." So we're gonna get Robert Stone versus Braun Breaker, and this is gonna bring back Von Kelly in the process. So number 1 contenders match, triple threat. Was triple threat, went to a fair 4-way. Now it's back to triple threat. Carmelo Hayes, Dijak, and Baron Corbin for the NXT Championship. Good, very, very good main event. Very good spots in this match. Dijak and Corbin at the beginning of the match try to double choke slam Hayes. Hayes blocks it and lands a few strikes. Dijak lands a nasty choke breaker. Both Corbin and Dijak try to pin Hayes at the same time, which doesn't work. Hayes tries for a crossbody. Dijak catches Hayes and tosses him clear across the ring. And Corbin and Dijak trade strikes. Hayes tries to sneak in a double slingshot DDT. Corbin and Dijak both put both the brakes. Corbin and Dijak both put on the brakes. Hayes counters and lands a double DDT. Anyway, that goes to commercial break. At the break, Hayes surprises Dijak with the first 48. Hayes goes up top. Corbin pulls off Hayes off the top rope and hits a Death Valley driver on the floor. Hayes sends Corbin into Dijak. Dijak, Corbin with high justice. Dijak drops Corbin with high justice. Hayes breaks up the pin with a double super kick. Hayes runs into a boot from Dijak that turns him inside out. Corbin escapes. Dijak's feast your eyes and hits the end of days before Corbin can pin Dijak. Hayes hits nothing but net. Hayes pushes Corbin and pins Dijak for the 1-2-3 victory. Carmelo Hayes is your new number 1 contender for the NXT Championship, which to be defended at Halloween Havoc week 2, night 2, which is 2 weeks from yesterday. So Carmelo Hayes is your new number 1 contender. Expecting Trick Williams to come back at Halloween Havoc. I don't suspect Hayes to win the title back from Ilya Dragunov, so we'll see. We'll see how this goes here. But yeah, we already talked about what happened. We already talked about what happened with the story there, but there's plenty of direction that they go with the story. Again, Hayes most likely is going to be the heel in this storyline, but they can certainly pull off an Enzo and Cass storyline where Trick Williams faked his own attack. So we can see. At the end of the show, you see Lyra Valkyria with a picture of Becky Lynch, and you see her rip it up. And at the end of the show, you see Jade Cargill on the TV screen, and she goes like this. Like it's time, or like time is up. Are they setting up a Becky Lynch versus Jade Cargill match for NXT Deadline? I think he may be at NXT Deadline. I think we're going to see Jade's first match in WWE at NXT Deadline. That's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. I don't know if that's going to be our first match. I think that should be made our first match because we don't want to rush it. But I think we're going to start seeing Jade on TV cutting promos and maybe doing like attacks and things of that nature and being on commentary and you know, doing things like that. But I think it's time. And she's saying it's almost time. Is Jade going to debut? Like, as far as on TV with her music, with her presentation, as far as her entrance. Is that going to happen next week? Have to wait and see. But fun SmackDown. Fun NXT. Jesus, man. That shows you that I'm like not correct today in the brain. I'm so under the weather. Fun NXT show. If I get a rating out of 10, I'll have to give it a 7.25 out of 10. 7.25 out of 10. Very good show, though. Very good show. But anyway, moving on. This is going to be very short here because there's really not a lot of news here. Let me refresh my timeline real quick before we get into even more news from yesterday. Because, like I said, there's not a lot of news in the forecast here. So yeah. And I forgot to say, Lexis King's making his debut next week as well. This guy didn't even have the opportunity to put Lexis King in his fucking notes. Go fuck off. Lexis King is debuting next week. Brian Pillman Jr. Can't wait for that. Love the way that he explained. Love the way on how he explained on the reason for his name change. It's just great. It's great stuff. So it gives a reason why he's not Brian Pillman Jr., why he's Lexis King. I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with that. So anyway, we are going on to news about The Rock and Roman Reigns. WrestleMania 40. Could it happen? Well, as according to Sports Illustrated, don't think so. It's coming from Sports Illustrated. They report in regards of the possibility of Roman Reigns versus The Rock for WrestleMania 40 next year. After speaking with multiple sources close to WWE, the decision about WrestleMania will not be The Rock's to make, nor is the main event even a topic of substance. And there are currently no plans for this to happen. Even if it were over, it would not be a certainty that Johnson would even accept. He has multiple obligations. If he's as a part of a movie that is filming, he simply would not be able to take the risk of wrestling. If that's the case, if this is lined up to be true, if we're not going to get Rock versus Roman, I don't want to hear about it again. Ever. Next year's the year to do it. If it's not going to happen, don't do it. I don't want to hear about it again. You know, these guys don't get younger. They get older, right? Rock, phenomenal shape. Roman, we don't even know if he's going to be going to Hollywood. We don't know if WrestleMania 40 may be his last WrestleMania not last WrestleMania, but his last WrestleMania in his current run as the WWE Undisputed Worldwide Champion. Undisputed. Universal. All that. We're all those fucking names in there. So, we don't know. So, if it ain't happening at WrestleMania 40, I don't want to see it. Don't want to see it. What's the point? Dwayne Johnson, he doesn't need the money, really. Does he really need the money? No. He wants to come back because he wants to come back. If he's not going to risk it for being in Hollywood, I understand it. Totally understand it. He has obligations. Totally understand. I have nothing against that. Nothing against that whatsoever. I'm just saying, if it doesn't happen at WrestleMania 40, I don't want to see it. As of right now, WrestleMania 40, I honestly, I don't really want to see it right now. Honestly, if I'm being completely honest, I honestly don't really want to see it right now. Love The Rock. Like, look, get The Rock back here. Got my little bobblehead right here. Look, I love The Rock. Look. So I'm not hating on The Rock. I love this guy. So I'm not hating on The Rock. I'm just saying that there comes a time where certain, when certain stories, when they make sense, when it lines up. I just don't want to see this here at WrestleMania 41, and that's for number one. But also number two as well, I don't want it because it's already gonna be taken away from certain wrestlers and certain stars. WrestleMania 40, I totally get it. It's the 40th anniversary of WrestleMania, right? You want to create a big splash in Philly, the first ever, TKO WrestleMania. I get it. I understand it. I'm for it. But I don't want to see at WrestleMania 41. We're going to be well past Vince McMahon at that point. Hopefully he's not back by then, in creative aspects at least. But yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it after the next year. So yeah. What's your thoughts about that? Let me know in the comment section here on YouTube. Speaking of Vince McMahon will not have a final say on Docracies. Oh Jesus, they spelled docuseries wrong. Okay. On a docuseries, I'm like Docracies. They spelled docuseries wrong. Because it had DLCUSERIS. So anyway, Vince McMahon will not have a final say on a docuseries surrounding his life and career that will release on Netflix on a yet to be announced date. McMahon will see clips but doesn't get to change anything. That's coming. That's executive producer on the series, who was speaking to Bill Simmons during the Bloomberg Scream Time event. Good. As long as it's accurate, good. If it's not accurate, then I would have problems with that. And if they're not looking to change it, but due to something that's really inaccurate, okay, totally understand it. Like, you have your right to gripe, but fucking good. You don't have no right. Yeah, no. You get to watch it. If it's all accurate, so the fuck what? You did them. Were you not on trial for steroids back in 1994? Did you not have some type of? Did you not have the show move on after Owen Hart's death at Over the Edge 1999? Did you not have misdeeds? That was proven. Just saying. So, that was interesting news to note there. Moving on, Michael Cole. He wasn't at Raw this past Monday. Michael Cole had requested some time off some time ago. Michael Cole has requested some time ago for this week off due to a personal commitment. It's not illness or anything similar. So Cole is slated to be back next week. So that's his third show missed. So wherever the personal commitment is, has been pretty huge. For him to miss. So wherever it is, I hope everything's okay. Really do. Hope everything's all right. But we will see Michael Cole next week. So or is he gonna be on? Well, he's probably not gonna be on SmackDown either. So yeah. Anyway, hope everything's good for Michael Cole. Raw viewership. This came out yesterday afternoon. Raw's viewership was at a 1.483 million viewers on the USA Network. An 18 to 49 demographic at a 0.44. Strong numbers from WWE. They continue to, improve year over year. Well, not with Raw. I'm sorry. SmackDown is improving year over year. Raw is still down 7%. From where they were last year. So, they were down 10% in Q3. Now they're down 7%. So they are fixing that. NXT is up 36%. Jesus, man. They're up 36%. So, anyway. That's the rating for Monday Night Raw. We got a couple more news stories, and It's not really news stories. These are just, well, one's a newish story, news-ish story. Then one is just a preview for Dynamite tonight. But Dynamite tonight, live in Rosenberg, Texas. So you got Dynamite in Rosenberg, which is the Houston area. Then you got SmackDown in San Antonio. So it looks like Texas is lucky to have all the pro wrestling here this week. So you got Kyle Fletcher versus Kenny Omega slated for Dynamite tonight. It's going to be a damn good match. Kyle Fletcher, I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he does. Kenny Omega is one of the best in the world, one of the best of all time. You know what I mean? I won't put Kenny Omega in my top 10, but if we're talking about best of all time, I'll go top 50. If you have him in your top 50, cool. I personally may go, I think top 50. Yeah, top 50. Because there's obviously some people that I will put above Kenny Omega. Got Pito El Zero Miedo versus Jay White. Sting addresses the fans. I don't like that. I don't like that whatsoever. I don't like that. I hope you're not retiring, Sting. Hope you're not retiring. Or maybe he's addressing something with Adam Copeland. So I'm assuming it could be that too as well. So Jim Ross sit down interview with Nick Wayne and his mom. That's gonna be good. I can tell you that right now. Toni Storm is gonna debut her latest film. Should be interesting. And Dynamite does in Battle Royal. Winner gets to face MJF for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So basically, you're saying that Juice Robinson is gonna win this match to face off against MJF next week. That's what I'm saying. So, does Dynamite on paper, be honest, doesn't look fantastic, but it looks like this has. I mean, because it doesn't look like a lot of matches because there's really only 2 matches announced right now. I'm trying to see if there's any more. There's also gonna be a Adam Copeland's rebuttal, a Ray R rebuttal to Christian Cage. That's what it says there. I don't see any other matches advertised except for those 2 there. So this is gonna open up a lot of storytelling, which I'm cool with. If this opens up a lot of storytelling, I'm totally fine with. It's not gonna be only 2 matches though. We know that. We know it's gonna be at least 4 to 5 matches. But I'm totally cool with that. So, Dynamite tonight should be a fun show. We'll be talking about it tomorrow here. And last but not least here on the podcast today, Bianca Belair. We miss Bianca Belair here. We do. She could be making her WWE TV return as soon as Friday on SmackDown. San Antonio's lucky. If she's there, San Antonio's lucky. Question is she going to come back as a heel? We'll see. Are they going to do a character change to Bianca? Still the EST, but a little bit more serious Bianca Belair. I don't know. We'll see. Bianca's one of those women right now where she's like the female John Cena, where she's being treated like the top woman's babyface. Charlotte is not treated as a top woman's babyface. She's treated as the top star, but not as a babyface. You know what I mean? Becky Lynch is a babyface, but she's not going out there in the public spotlight like a John Cena. As far as like doing Make-A-Wishes and doing charity and stuff. So you could argue Becky Lynch is the top babyface, but I think Bianca Belair is the top babyface for the image of WWE, if that makes any sense. But yeah, Bianca Belair could be back this Friday on SmackDown. So we will certainly be paying attention. We'll be keeping it locked. We'll be keeping it locked on that. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it. That's the podcast here today. We also, too, as well, are sponsored by my company. Check out Spine Buster Tees, spinebustertees.com. Get your Rhea design t-shirts there, including the Vanilla Midget t-shirt. We have the WrestleMart t-shirt. We have the USA t-shirt, the Job of the Year t-shirt, and more. Spinebuster Tees, spinebustertees.com, 10% off, fall 10 at checkout. And also, as well, free shipping for $40 and above. $40 and above, pre-tax. And that's, again, at Spinebuster Tees and spinebustertees.com. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys coming out. I am feeling like crap. We barely got this show to an hour because, again, there was not a lot of news not a lot of news today. So we'll be talking about Dynamite tomorrow. If I feel better. If not, I may not make it tomorrow either. So we'll see. But I need to at least get a podcast out here for you guys. So, but feeling otherwhere sucks. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. Enjoy AEW Dynamite tonight, and hopefully there's more news in the wrestling sphere tomorrow. But I'll see you guys later. You guys have a great day. Peace.